I think we have time for to open the floor for some questions and answers before we move on to the concluding comments. But first of all, I'd just like to say a huge hearty thank you to all of the fantastic speakers that we had today. I think the presentations were phenomenal. I think that we all learned something today. For sure, we will be sharing the presentations so that you're able to get all the information that was shown. There was such interesting input. Yes, I'm going to look through the chat and see if there's any questions there, but otherwise feel free to raise your hand in case you haven't written anything yet. And we'll open the floor for maybe 7 minutes now. I can see there's a question here that's come from Laura Maria Tilda, and it's addressed to the flock participants, but I think this is a question that could go wider, because it would be interesting to hear from all the speakers if you see an increase of male allies that are supporting the gender equality cause. Maybe we could ask this to all of the speakers. Wendy, would you like to take the floor first?
Sure. Then I would say yes, definitely. And that could be because I've been around such a long time and things were so bad in the beginning. But I've definitely noticed that I can rely on male allies. And I think one of the big things that's changed for me is so often I would be the voice in the room challenging things and raising issues. And I would be the one saying, you really need, can't have a board that is all men, can't have this, we really need some women. What I'm really encouraged by is that I do have male allies who are speaking that now, who are raising those issues. And while we have them, we can absolutely do with more of them.
Thank you, Wendy. The same question to you, Julia. You're muted, Julia. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I thought some difficulties. Yes, of course, we also have more allies. So, for example, we're also in the ITTF group. We're increasing this topic with high performance and development to working even stronger together now with TAFISA. It is really nice to see that this network is growing, and I think it is very, very important that this network is growing, and also from so many different sports, because sport is an enabler for sustainable development, including gender equity. So yes, I think we can also see an increase of allies and also of male allies. It's really nice to see.
Thank you, Julia. Mariette, I think with the focus on the intersectionality with the Nike programs, I'd be quite interested to take the question and ask about the partnerships and how you get involved with key partners in order to develop and deliver your programs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for that. And yeah, I think it's important to say that obviously everything that I talked about is all done through our partners, right? Nike is by no means the expert on delivering in the community. That's our wide range of partners that are doing that, like many of you here today. And especially on that intersectionality, I think it's when we developed the hijab guide, especially, even though the product was the starting point, we always said, well, we can't design this ourselves. We need to design that with the community that's from that community that's going to use it. And that includes male and female allies, I suppose. So what's really interesting is that I think we're hearing more and more from male coaches that they want to know about some of these taboos or some of these issues that they're facing when coaching girls. And that to me is really, really encouraging, because yes, there's a lack of female coaches and we need to do something about that. But equally, we need to make sure that we provide all the amazing male coaches out there with the right tools and knowledge to also reach some of these harder to reach girls, because there's no point in we don't want to sideline anyone, right? The whole point is that we're all better equipped to reach these girls in this example. So really, really important to do that co-creation, I think.
Thank you so much. And I think with the FLOT mentees, so with Tinka, Kaya and Carol, how do you believe you could be supported, whether that's institutionally, whether that's coming from mentors? What type of support do you think could really guide you and take you on your way to becoming the future leaders of the movement?
Yeah, maybe I can just start to answer this question. First of all, I think the FLOT project is already a great program for us to be mentored by a woman or a man who's experienced in the field. Like, it's really great to have a personal mentor, because I think in our work environment, for example, I'm also working as a student assistant. I'm too scared sometimes to ask my bosses for advice or something. So this project is really helpful, because now we have a personal contact. We have a personal advisor for us. We can ask any question. So I think this is really helpful to have this personal connection. And then also, I think for us, it's helpful to get platforms like this. Maybe as you've seen, like, we have something to say, we have things we already done, we have experiences, but sometimes there's just a lack for us on platforms, or like where we can share our experiences. So I think it would be great also to have platforms to connect with other female leaders, to share experiences. I think these are the main points which will help us to become female leaders.
Okay, Tinka and Carol, if you would you like to add something?
I think Kai already said everything. Maybe just, having more workshops like this, because there are so many powerful women here, and I'm so inspired after this workshop. It was really amazing. So yeah, maybe more stuff like that also.
I agree with both of them. I think we need more exposure. We need to interact with experienced female leaders. I think it's a good platform. If we have a lot of workshops like this, we'll be able to learn from the women who've already passed through our stage, who are already taking up big positions that we want to take up in future. So it will be a very good platform for us to learn from.
Wonderful, thank you so much. I wish that we had more time for further questions, but unfortunately we have run out. But I think the success and the input that we've had today certainly calls us to action, to the need to have further virtual workshops where we can bring together members of the Global Sport for All movement and discuss such topical and valuable issues. I think, yes, I would just like to say once again, I can't say enough. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to our speakers. Thank you to the participants for your attendance and your contribution today. It's been a fantastic first workshop. I think the TAFISA team are very, very happy with how the first of the series has gone for us. And we certainly hope that we'll see you at our next workshop, which is taking place in May on the theme of active cities. I think before we have our closing remarks, we will take a photograph. So please turn on your camera so we can see everyone's smiling, happy, hopefully not too exhausted faces. And straight after the workshop, all participants will receive a short questionnaire. It will take less than a minute to just tell us how you feel today has gone. it would be very helpful for TAFISA, so we know what we can improve on and what works well for next time. So I think we can take a photograph now before we pass the floor. So Gaetan. Okay, so everyone say cheese. Did we get it? Okay, all good, Gaetan? Perfect, good. So I will pass the floor now to Julia to give some closing remarks on behalf of the ITTF Foundation. So
Again.
Julia, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Carrie. Yes, I just want to reiterate why we are doing this. It is because of at least 50% of the population still faces barriers to access on all levels, athletes, but also leadership positions. We need to put the issues and topics on the agenda so that we can find solutions to break down the barriers, tackle the bias, and of course, the roots of these issues. And it is also within this presentations from all included, and also the question and the participants I see now, we can see the positive ideas and the changes internally simply by just already putting the topic on the agenda. And I also want to, just because I saw it in the chat from a person asking if it's helpful for women to coach boys and men, and if they would benefit, and I say yes, also from a personal experience. For myself, I gained also self-confidence, and also the boys and men have to be included, because then they will also can be respectful towards girls and women as well. And I have to say, it is a really wonderful day to celebrate, and I encourage everyone to commemorate the day by ensuring that on 8th of March, on the International Women's Day, you also encourage those around you. And if you feel you're going to judge someone or limit someone's dreams, maybe you should consider what bias you have that makes you think in this way. So we have to train our minds towards inclusion and find common solutions towards an inclusive society for all. We have to bring this inclusive mindset to our sports, which also can already start with the language, like when, for example, said like not using the phrases, you kick like a girl, or then empower it, embrace it. Yes, I kick like a girl because I am a girl, and it's a good way. And yeah, I just want to thank you again, Carrie, of course, and the whole TAFISA for inviting us, and for everyone present today, also the guest speakers, but also for the attendees. It has been a very inspiring input, and I truly believe that we're on a positive pathway towards contributing to gender equity through sports. And of course, don't forget to join us in 1 hour for the conference on gender equity and empowerment in table tennis. Also not only from a table tennis side, but also from a side from IOC and IPC. And of course, join us on April 6th to celebrate and promote gender equity. Thank you very much to all of you again, and have a lovely day.
Thank you so much, Julia, for a fantastic contribution today. I would now like to pass the floor to TAFISA Vice President, Ms. Catherine Ford, for a few closing remarks. Catherine, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Carrie. I want to say thank you as well to the TAFISA team that contributed to making this happen. I want to thank all the presenters this morning who provided such inspiration, and to all the participants. I can honestly say that this was an absolutely great morning. Well deserved, and absolutely justifies my rising early. And it was a great morning, providing substantial discussion and presentations with real ideas and with real solutions. The workshop this morning establishes a great deal of hopefulness. It also provided us with opportunities to build and to strengthen our networks. We have started this morning on a very high and empowering note, which can only get better as we move forward towards the coming workshops. So we all must make a commitment this morning to share the experience and to encourage others to join and to become engaged. On behalf of TAFISA, I thank you this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine.